Having a good drink tonight, love.
So if you could start by telling us your name and how old you are.
My name is Mr. Philip George. I was born on the 11th of May 1961. Yeah, in Hyde Park, Leeds, LS6.
And could you tell us a little bit about life growing up?
Life growing up was tough, you know. We were brought up in an area which was I'd say it was tough in the sense, whereas, you know, because it was deprived in many ways, right? Yeah. A lot of people didn't have really time for each other, you know.
Yeah.
To see her, you know, and you know, it was, you know, they rub shoulders, and you know, they pass you, and you know, they say good morning, good afternoon, everything, yeah, you know. But you could see, yeah. Well, I could see, you know what I mean. You know, things weren't right. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I looked at a lot of people's face, you know what I mean, in community. But well, you know, they don't look right to me, you know what I mean, you know. Something's wrong there, you know what I mean, you know. And then when you get talking to them, then you're trying to find out the real issues, you know. To find out housing, you know what I mean, jobs, you know, who gets what. You know what I mean? You know, I found that in our community, and you know, and the school that I went to, you know, it was a C of E school, Church of England school. You know, it was like certain, you know, my class, you know, middle school. It was like, you know, I had to be noticed. I had to fight. You know what I mean? I found myself in that situation. I was always fighting people, you know what I mean? You know? That was because, you know, we were being looked down on. You know what I mean? Because of racial ethnicity. You know what I mean? You know? And, you know, schools, you know, in them times, a lot of schools didn't know about equal opportunities and understand what equal opportunities meant. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know? And, you know, people could walk up to you and say, you know, call your names and you know what I mean, and you know, say nasty things to you, not knowing that, you know, these things had there was a bigger picture to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, it didn't stop there. You know what I mean? You know, when you went to if you did get a job, if you were lucky enough to get a job, yeah, like I was, you know what I mean? You know. Yeah, I did get a job, but it didn't last long, you know what I mean? Because I found that, you know, the foreman, you know what I mean? He was a racist son of a bitch, you know what I mean? You know? Yeah. And, you know, they call him Peter, you know what I mean? You know, one minute I'm working on production line, doing my job, you know what I mean? Just as good as anybody else. The quality control manager, right, he won't happen with my work, but this geezer called Peter, who was foreman, for some reason, right, you know, he wasn't happy with my work, you know what I mean? Next minute now, I find myself in office, you know, I'm standing in front of the boss. He's telling the boss, right, he wants to sack me. The boss says, well, I can't see what he's doing wrong. You know what I mean? So, you know, the boss saying, well, I've got to sack him because he wants me to sack you. And he's the foreman, and you know what I mean? So, you know, I said, well, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving here. I was supposed to leave. And they called the police, and the police actually came and grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and threw me out of the factory into the middle of the road, you know what I mean, yeah? And there was I couldn't do nothing about it. I ended up going to some office round the corner here called discrimination, and I went to some bureau, and they gave me like £200 for my feelings, you know what I mean? You know, and I thought, well, wait a minute, I've just spent, you know what I mean, 3 years going to college for that to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I thought, it just ain't right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But not knowing that had a knock-on effect. You know, losing my job. Yeah. That had a massive knock-on effect on me. You know what I mean? You know, because it left me with no money. It left me, you know, it left me stressed. You know what I mean? And it left me in a situation where, you know, I thought, well, geez, you know what I mean? You know, what am I going to recover from this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, when I went to see a solicitor about it, you know what I mean, and trying to help me, and you know what I mean, you know, I found, well, you know, he's back up against the wall as well. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the people, you know what I mean, he were trying to fight down to put me where I should have been. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to put me back to where I should have been, back on factory floor, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't happening. You know what I mean? You know, but I tried to fight back, but I found it was hopeless. You know what I mean?
Impossible.
And then I found, you know what I mean? Then I started to read about discrimination, because I never really thought about. We were never, you know, people like me won't really talk about this, you know, discrimination. Coming from a mixed race family, we didn't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't really understand how some people felt about your race. We thought, you know what I mean? You know, because, you know, we were mixed race, we thought, you know, everybody felt the same, but that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? There's certain people in certain areas, you know what I mean, who just wanted to, when they seen you, were like, whoa, you know what I mean? Just wanted to fight you. And we didn't understand why, but now we do. You know what I mean? Because obviously we learned about it, discrimination, you know what I mean? You know, and it's sad really, you know what I mean? Because, you know, discrimination, right, yeah, you know, for all different peoples and races and ethnicities, you know what I mean? Right, yeah. You know, we're all God's children, you know what I mean? We're all God's children, you know what I mean? Yeah. And when we die, you're gonna put us all down that same hole, you know what I mean? No one's gonna go in no big hole, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, but it's still, you know, even in today's time, you know what I mean? It's still there, you know what I mean? You get called, you know, black this, black that, nigger this, nigger that, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you get called, you know, and I thought, well, who are you? How are you better than me? You know what I mean? You know, and I said, well, you know, and then, oh, you're a mongrel, you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? So, what? So what are you with your pedigree? You know what I mean? Yeah, I said, well, you know, how are you a pedigree? You're not proper English, you know what I mean? So then, that's where, you know, it impacts then, you know what I mean? You know, because you're white, you know what I mean? You might think you're English, but you're not, you know what I mean? You're more mixed than me, you know what I mean? You know, right? You know, but you're going on like you're something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but it's just how it's the education system. It don't teach people. It's missed out that link. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the missing link. But they don't realise, you know what I mean, the damage it's caused. You know what I mean?
Say, do you feel like that's affected your whole...
Oh, my whole life. My whole life. You know what I mean? My girlfriend, you know what I mean? You know, my wife, you know what I mean? You know, her family, they were racist. You know what I mean? You know, when she introduced me to them, her family, yeah, I got it from them. You know what I mean? You know, my children got it from them. You know what I mean? You know, my mother who was white, right? Yeah, her family cut her off completely because she married a black man. You know what I mean? You know, and he attacked her as well, and hurt her. You know what I mean? You know, and she didn't recover from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and the impact it has on you. You know, housing, right, yeah. Housing, having a decent home. Everybody wants to, you know, and you know, having a decent home brings pride. It gives you strength.
Yeah.
It makes you go get a job because you want to see your home nice. You want to have a nice home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A nice piece of living room, you know what I mean? And you want to have a nice piece of television, you know what I mean, yeah? You know? You don't want to be reduced to sleeping down the road in a doorway in a tent, you know what I mean? You know, but that can happen, you know what I mean? Just because somebody wants, you know, feels that, you know, somebody in an office somewhere, you know, presses that button, oh well, I'll destroy that person. It can destroy a person's life these days by pressing a button, you know what I mean? You know, that's how it is, you know, that's how the system goes, you know what I mean? You know, who gets what, who don't get what, you know what I mean? I'm a master painter, but I'm on the streets.
How long have you been on the streets?
I went to college for 5 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I've got a master's, right, in art, right, you know, I've got a degree in art, you know what I mean? I'm a master polisher, French polisher, marbleizing, graining, japanning, you know, Bonamarino, Castaligo, you know what I mean? You know, people have never heard of these types of finishes.
I was just about to say.
You know what I mean? You know, they're living in the dark ages, you know what I mean? They're not living in the future. They think they are, but they're not. you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
it's education, you know what I mean? Well, I said it's, you know, yeah, you know what I mean? But you got to get over it, you know what I mean? You know, yeah, you know, when I was on the workshop floor, you know what I mean, right? Yeah, you know, one minute I thought, well, yeah, I've got this job, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I'm getting like £30 an hour. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was good money in them times. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next minute, you know what I mean? I'm being hauled out of the factory by this copper. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to tell him, look, man, what you're doing is wrong. You know what I mean? But he just told what to do, when to do, and how to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and that's the system. You know what I mean? That's what they've created. They want it to be like that. You know what I mean? You know, and I said, yeah. You know, it was me and my brother and my family and that, you know what I mean, yeah? I mean, when I went and told my girlfriend what had happened at the factory, you know what I mean, I thought, well, you know what I mean, she's white, you know what I mean, you know? And so you're constantly fighting down that white all the time, you know what I mean? You know, the fucking manager's white, you know what I mean, yeah? He don't give a shit, he's wearing handmade shoes, you know what I mean? Fucking handmade suit, you know what I mean? He's fucking driving a, you know, big fancy car outside, you know what I mean? You know, I did all that college work, what I did, you know what I mean? It ain't done me no good.
No.
You know what I mean? Because when I've gone to the job centre, you know what I mean, and I put my name down, you know, oh, you know, well, would you take a packing job? You know what I mean? You know, I spent all that time, you know what I mean? You know, learning these skills, and I've still got them skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've still got them. You know, this is a piece of furniture that I've made. Show you. This is the top of stuff, right? Yeah. This is a piece of furniture that I've made, right? Yeah. And look at that. That's the oh, you know what I mean? You know, that's in a shed, you know, down the road. I do that, you know, when I've got a bit of spare time to go.
Yeah.
You know, but when I get my own home, yeah, I'm hoping to get a little garage and that, and then start a little business.
That'd be
just
amazing.
Doing, you know, one-off, you know, violins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, doing say, you know, pianos, jump pianos, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, French polishing. Yeah, I'm a master polisher, yeah, master painter. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
You know, and when people see my work, you know what I mean, they're gobsmacked.
Yeah.
They say, that's absolutely stunning. They've never seen it like this. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, yeah, you know. I'm proud of my work, you know what I mean?
You should be.
I achieved a lot, you know what I mean, going to college and everything, yeah? But it never did me any good, you know what I mean? Because when you try to get into these big factories, right, yeah, you find that they don't have an equal opportunities policy, you know what I mean? So when you go along now, right, yeah, you know, they're all, you know, you're going to the workshop floor, it's all white. There's no colour there, you know what I mean? You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you ever been on a building site, right, yeah, and they're all white, there's no colour people there. No, don't that tell you something? Get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah? So, and that's where it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The impact it's had, you know what I mean, on the economy, it's been devastating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why things have led to how it is now. You know, it's system. That's why there's all these problems now. Because, you know, it's all, you know, disproportionate, you know what I mean? You know, the way things are run, you know what I mean? You know,
yeah.
He gets all the creams and cherry and they get none, you know what I mean? You know, when you walk at Hyde Park, right, yeah, that's where we were brought up, in the multicultural area, or whatever, you know what I mean? You know, names, whatever, you know what I mean, yeah? You know, there's still areas in Leeds where, you know, you can't go live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a hard time, you know what I mean? Especially in the outer towns like Doncaster, you know what I mean? I went to live over in Doncaster, right, yeah, for a while, you know what I mean? You know, and I got targeted, I had to leave the town, you know what I mean? Come back to Leeds, you know what I mean? My money got sanctioned, you know what I mean? You had to go, I ended up going to go see an MP called Rosie Winterton to get my money reinstated. That's, you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, you go in a shop, you know, I went in the shop, right, to get a cafe owned by some Asian geezer, right, yeah? And there were some guys in it, and, you know, some of the things that they were calling the mum, you know what I mean? You know, were disgusting. You know what I mean? I thought, man, you know what I mean? It was like Leeds, you know, back in, you know, 60s, you know, when my dad first came here.
Yeah.
When he lived on Camp Road. Because when my dad first came to England back in them times, right, you know what I mean, you know, back in Windrush, right, yeah, it was hard then. A lot harder than it is, a million times harder than it now.
Yeah.
You couldn't walk down the street with a white woman. If you were coloured and you walked down the street with a white woman, you got attacked. For sure. You know what I mean? But in them days, you know what I mean? Yeah?
And have you got any advice for anyone watching this?
Advices, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, my advice is, you know what I mean, yeah, you know, to anyone who's running, you know, who's got a bit of power, a bit of authority, you know what I mean, right, yeah, don't let it go to your head, you know what I mean, you know, don't compromise, you know what I mean, you know, your belief, if you know what I mean, you know, stick to what's right, you know what I mean, you know, stick to what's right and do what's right, you know what I mean? You know, if you go work for somebody, right, yeah, and they're telling you, right, yeah, let me give you, you know what I mean, instance, right, yeah, you know, there's a security guard working at this shop called Asda down on Kirksfield Road, right, yeah, the managers told him, right, yeah, to go drag 2 poor guys off the street, right, yeah, you know what I mean, because they've been going in the shop for months and months, shoplifting, but they hadn't, that were all lies, you know what I mean? He just wanted to, you know, give him an order to go watch him abuse somebody, and he did. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And no, that's you know, get what I'm saying? You know, using his position to abuse people is wrong.
100%.
You know what I mean? You know, and that's what can happen, and that's what is happening in a lot of cases. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, you know, just my advice is to you know, to anyone who's, you know, who's up there, you know what I mean, and they've got a bit of clout, you know what I mean, yeah, is, you know, look at the bigger picture, you know what I mean, you know, there's a lot of people down there, you know what I mean, you know, who deserve better,
yeah,
you know what I mean, you know, and yeah, and they've had a raw deal, you know what I mean, you know, and when you get your ass kicked, you get it kicked, you know what I mean, yeah, you just got to get up and carry on,
yeah,
you know what I mean, yeah,
no, that's great,
but yeah, equal opportunities, that's the key, you know what I mean, you know.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Very much for watching. We're now going to talk a little bit about Philip's story. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed it. Thank you. So with Philip, we're going to talk because he mainly focuses on the sort of discrimination he's faced in the workplace and being homeless.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Very interested character.
He is, like, I think we could talk to him all night.
Yeah.
Like, he had so much to tell us. So obviously the time he's talking about is years and years and years ago. So I didn't realise the Equality Act was only brought in 2010.
Only 2010?
Yeah, which protects employees like from unfair treatment based on their sex or marital status, pregnancy, race, disability, religion, age.
So before that they can sack you for just being...
Now, like, I'm sure it probably would have been frowned upon, but yeah, legally there was nothing you could do. Whereas now, but I'm guessing that proving it would be a whole different matter.
Yeah.
So even nowadays, 36% of adults report facing discrimination in the workplace. That's a massive...
That's a lot of numbers.
It's a third of people face discrimination. And the top one, which surprised me, it surprised me when I read it, but then when you think about it, it doesn't surprise me. Age.
Age?
Yeah.
If you're old or young?
If you're old. So yeah, age, and then gender, disability, race, and then sexuality at the end.
If you do like construction and you're getting old, you can't physically carry on.
But they can't deny you the job due to your age.
But where do you stand with that?
I know. I'm just reading out the facts.
And then I'm just saying, because if you go to your company, no offense, but old guys working there, and he can't do.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is some jobs that it is difficult due to age.
Yeah.
And the same maybe with gender.
And then I don't think people should get punished because of that. If you're trying to get rid of someone that's old, you can't do the work, you should not be punished for that.
No, but equally, if that's, say, like a job you've done all your life, where do you go from there then? If
you can't do you can't do the same thing that you used to do.
No.
What, do you want to break your back?
But I think, like 36% of adults is a lot to face discrimination.
Yeah.
And obviously the era he's talking about is a long time ago, when I imagine racial discrimination in the workplace was very common.
Yeah.
But like, to be hounded out of a job that he was good at, that he trained for, that he loved doing, it must be so, like, it must really knock you, like, to literally have to be like dragged out of there.
Yeah.
When you've not done anything wrong.
Yeah, I've not done anything wrong.
You're just the wrong colour to suit them.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It's so wrong.
That's wrong.
But then to feel like it's still happening nowadays as well.
Yeah. It's still happening, but things change a lot from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's still happening, but it's getting better.
Making baby steps in the right direction. Which I guess is better than no steps.
Yeah.
But there is obviously still a lot to be done.
Yeah.
Because I think it's safe to say that his whole life would have turned out different if he hadn't been chased.
We can't really say that because...
Well, no, we can't, because you don't know, but...
We don't know, yeah. But he was going to the right direction.
Yeah, and he loved what he did, and he's so good at... Like, he was showing us those pictures of the woodwork and that he'd done, and it was amazing. And now it's just a shame because he's got nowhere to do that, or no way to do that. And even then he's still trying so hard to do it.
And I believe people like that, if you give him a chance, he would do a good job.
I think he would work so hard.
He works so hard.
Just needs to be given a chance. And then I want to talk a little bit about the way we as a society discriminate against homeless people in general. So I think one of the things is, if you're homeless, it's easy to feel like you're denied access to healthcare. And I think we as a nation take like great pride in the NHS, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, even when they did that stupid Make Britain Great Again or whatever to leave the EU, like it all focused on this all money can go to like the NHS, blah blah blah, and the NHS is designed to treat everyone. Like, it shouldn't matter your status, like your home status, anything. So to feel like homeless people are denied, or it's difficult to get healthcare, because I guess even to register at doctors you need to have an address, don't you?
Yeah. But you can always use like probation address, the homeless shelter address. You can always do that.
Yeah. And I did not know this, but legally the government do not have to provide housing to people. Yeah.
Legally?
Legally, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? I didn't realise that. And then obviously structural racism plays a huge part in people in minorities being excluded from homeless services. And I think there's also like a lot, like say with Philip and that, he got forced out of his job due to racism and that.
Yeah.
And I imagine that they must experience some of that in the homeless shelters as well, which makes it feel like not a safe place to stay for them, doesn't it? Black people are more than three times more likely to end up homeless.
Why is that?
But yeah, they're 3 times more likely to end up homeless, which when I think if you take into account, like, I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but the percent of the percentage of black people living in this country compared to white people, I think, is less.
Yeah.
So for them then to be 3 times more likely to end up homeless despite being a lesser percent of the population is crazy.
Yeah. If you put it like that.
Yeah. And then, like, it just... I think obviously there's been a lot more focus on racism recently, hasn't there, in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
But to see that it's still affecting people so badly...
I think it's always going to affect people.
It is always. I don't think we're ever going to eradicate it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think racism is just one of them things. We just have to accept it. Because the reality is you're always going to have people being racist. And I think people just need to be more aware of it.
I think, yeah, make people more aware of it, because the more uncomfortable we can make people of being openly racist, the better.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we can all do every day. Like, if you hear someone say something, don't just ignore it, call them out on it. Because more often than not, they won't repeat it again when you're like, what did you just say, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
They won't repeat it.
They won't repeat it, yeah.
So just try and call people out on stuff, maybe. Or say, like, do you know what, don't find that funny. Don't appreciate it. Don't speak like that in front of me.
Yeah.
And then I think the more socially, like, obviously I think it is pretty socially unacceptable in most places now, but the more we can make it like that. And then, so I think a lot of people discriminate against homeless people as well because they view them as having a drug or an alcohol problem.
Yeah.
Like we've heard that a lot of people don't want to give money because they're like, well, they're going to go spend it.
Yeah.
But only 27% of homeless people suffer from substance abuse.
27%.
It's nowhere near as much as you would think.
I'm guilty of it, but I thought it was more than that. I didn't think all the homeless people are drug addicts, but I thought it would be more than that number.
I think it's something like a lot of us maybe tell ourselves to feel better about why they're homeless.
Yeah.
Because you feel better, like maybe telling yourself, well, I'm not going to end up homeless because I haven't got a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, when in reality, it's not that simple. I think, like we discussed with Ryan's story last week, like it can happen to anyone.
It can happen to anyone, you know what I mean?
And especially I think when you compare it to, this doesn't surprise me, 41% of students have a drug or alcohol problem or use drugs and alcohol, which doesn't surprise me, but our view of students, totally different to homeless people.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at it as well, as in students are given thousands of pounds of government money in loans, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the government don't do anything to help. Well, they don't do anything.
They try.
Let's not have the whole government after us now. Sorry, Boris. Don't do nothing.
They're not doing enough.
No, and they're not doing enough. Or what they're doing is not working fantastically.
Yeah.
But yeah, like our view of how you view students is totally different to how you view homeless people.
Yeah.
When in reality, students have the higher percent of drug and alcohol problems
Than homeless people.
than homeless people.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
And I think people are really quick to just sort of dehumanise homeless people, aren't they? I think people are quick to dehumanise and discriminate against homeless people because it makes them feel better about themselves rather than having to sit and think about these people that are out here every day struggling to survive.
Yeah.
Because it's not nice to think about and it is upsetting. But obviously the more people think about it, then the more likely people are to do something about it.
Yeah.
Like if you just ignore it.
Every city you go to, you see a homeless person.
Yeah.
So it's bad.
And I think even if it's something as simple as, and I know I've been guilty of this in the past, like when they're like asking for money, and if I don't have any change on me, like I am really, used to be really guilty of like even like avoiding eye contact.
Because you feel bad.
Yeah, but I think even something as simple as just like stopping and talking to them, just being like, sorry, like I've got no change on me.
Yeah.
Can I get you like a drink or a sandwich or anything to eat? Like
Well-
if you've got your card on you or something, or even just like making eye contact and saying no sorry rather than just ignoring.
But then you feel bad when you look at them and you know you can help. I think the reason why you feel bad because you know you can help but you don't want to.
Yeah. What, like people in general? Or me personally?
You personally?
No, because like I'm bad as in like I don't carry money really. Like I don't often have money or change on me, and so like I won't have anything to like give them. So then I feel bad. Yeah, I do feel bad. Whereas in reality, I should make eye contact and be like, I haven't got any change, sorry, but I can go and get you a drink or something to eat.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, avoiding eye contact and ignoring, like, further dehumanises them, doesn't it? So I think even just the simple act of...
Yeah.
But it's no doubt that Philip's had a hard life.
And he's still.
Yeah. It's still a hard life, and the racism and discrimination that he's faced has made it harder than it needed to be for him, and that's stuff that he shouldn't have had to face.
No, he don't. No one deserves to go through it.
No, it's never going to end just like
people's
that.
not gonna stop being racist. There's certain people that don't like certain colours. They're not gonna change. But people just need to be aware of it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed it.